I saw that you invited into my house like 2 people just completely off the street. Do you remember that?
They came up to the gate. And,
and he was just like,
let me tell you why I don't even feel bad.
This is your party you threw over the weekend. You threw quite a barn burner over there at the Brooks Kosovo residence.
Yeah, it was.
And late
literally,
night.
The people are walking on the street, these 2 girls, and they have a cute dog, and they're like, "Does anyone have a cigarette?" I'm like, "I do." So I let them in. They're
actually?
Like, yeah, they're like, we're the neighbors. And I'm like, oh shit. Yeah. What do you guys do? They're like, we paint. I'm like, they paint in here too. And I'm like, why don't you come look at your neighbor's house? So then I brought them into his home and like, I don't even feel bad because I was meeting everyone in his home and very great place. Had a great time. Brooks is awesome. Strong Manson family vibes in there.
Yeah.
Everyone's a painter, but basically that just means there's like shit scrawled all over the walls and stuff. And
you should know what happened in the attic there one time.
I honestly, I feel like there's like an unlisted basement in this place.
Probably.
And so they came in and I didn't even feel like bad about it because the 2 people I brought in were like more casual than the scene that they walked into. I think they were like, what the fuck?
Well, for me, I guess the cigarette that you gave to one of them, she just brought into the house and then
lit?
I'm like lit right next to
What a
Gamsol,
cunt.
which is like in my paintings, which
What a
is
cunt
extremely flammable oil paint. And she just is standing right there like with the cigarette. And I'm like, who is this girl?
Yeah, and then I came up, I'm like, that's your neighbor. That was a fun random a party. It was a good time. Everything I say, by the way, in this podcast is an interactive art experience where I play a character and the audience is participating.
Sure. Gotcha.
Nothing's true.
Yeah,
so I'm on ketamine at his house. Everyone's on ketamine. Everyone starts doing, and they start like everyone's glitching on the walls and stuff. Like they're like caught in some like time loop. It's really weird. And I'm like, look at my buddy. I'm like, we're gonna head out now. I think I think Brooks's wife is like done here, and
it was 4:30 in the morning.
So and there's like a ton of people there. So I'm like, I'm gonna head out now, and like I call the Uber, and I look back, and there's like 15 people there, and I'm like, was I the only person that doesn't live here? Because like I would have left a long time ago, and everyone lived there, but I didn't know that there was like the Manson family with Brooks at the front.
15 people living here. Does Doc still live there?
Is who?
Doc
Ock. You know what? He might come a little bit later.
Yeah,
when
I met him. He was soaking wet. This guy came up to me. He's like soaking wet.
It was his body trying to expel the toxins.
Problematic menace of a person. A good time though, good vibes. And he's like so sweaty. He comes up to me. He's like, bleh. And I was like,
on?
Ketamine a
he
bit.
just was nervous about the Danny
Yeah.
Duncan. Like he saw him and his friends, you know.
It was his hero.
Well, no, because it was weird because his best childhood friend was there, like wearing full Danny Duncan merch, and then Danny gets there and he's like freaking out. And I don't think that Doc Ock was. He was more so like embarrassed and like nervous about the friend being like.
Well, I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to be really strung out to care that a guy you are a fan of is at the party.
I think if you're wearing if you're like that much of a fan and you're wearing the merch, the craziest thing you could do is take it off and pretend like you're not.
Yeah.
And do something like you're doing a whole bit now where you're like, what's up, man? I wasn't wearing a shirt with your face on it just a second ago.
You know what's more awkward? I went to my softball game one time and I was wearing the Rocks merch. And there was another guy on the team also wearing the Rocks merch. And we're both grown men. And we looked at each other. We're like,
that's odd.
We really went to the Under Armour store and we were like, we got to support The Rock. Man.
Another blessed natural physique out there.
Oh, supernatural, dude.
Natural.
Yeah, if you really look at it. A lot of men get so much more jacked from 40 to 50. That's normal.
Who do you think would win actually in a fight? Would it be Mike O'Hearn or The Rock? Like
Mike O'Hearn.
Mike O'Hearn. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Team Mike O'Hearn. Yeah, he was on the American Gladiators. He's the only one on the original show and then the reboot. That's how.
Oh, really?
He's still a beast.
And
He's
he
an
got
athletic
faster,
beast.
stronger, and smarter since the first.
Right.
So it's crazy.
Which is wild. Yeah.
So I want to hear, because I find it interesting that it's a huge foul when a girl brings a lit cigarette into the house. Considering at your house, it's totally okay for a gay man to eat a straight guy's asshole.
Yeah.
There's a couple that has
we're trying to be a little bit
transgendered sex constantly inside. We can shoot porns in that house.
Wait,
Pornography,
at his house?
totally okay.
Yeah.
We have shot a porn there.
Good to know.
But if you bring in a camel,
Wait, I saw them.
Which saw who?
Them.
The porn couple? No.
No, just what he was
Trans couple.
describing.
The trans
You
couple.
probably saw the
Yeah.
trans
Oh
couple.
yeah, they're probably there.
I
some
said
point.
them, yeah.
If they weren't connected, I would be shocked.
They're painters also.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're the ones
Yeah,
that did the crazy.
He
ones
paints
on
the trans girl's
unfortunate.
fucking face with jizz.
That guy has. He looked like he was wearing a wig and a fake beard.
No, I don't. There's a lot of like the cult's getting a little bit out of control these days, so
Sure,
we're trying
sure.
to cut back.
I was like, I did leave. My buddy was like, "Oh, we're doing like at the end," and I was like, I was hanging with them on the couch.
That was smart of you. That's nice of you. Very. I know this is an alter ego we were in this night that was taking ketamine and bringing in strangers, but it's good you were using the correct pronouns. What is the craziest?
It was also
sexual
plural
thing?
though. It was plural people also. Like
Okay,
it would have
that's
been
true.
them if it was you too.
All right, so you lose your PC points there.
Yeah.
Tell me about the most fucked up thing that happened sexually at this party, because this was
Oh,
a
at
big
the
deal.
party.
I would have gone for sure, but I was down in San Diego.
I made a point not to invite Andy Dick this time, so
Sure.
things stayed a little bit more tame than you might expect.
Oh, he would have taken all the ketamine interactive
it
art
would have ended
experience
up.
bit.
It would have ended up like an absolute nightmare.
I didn't know that this was a Manson family vibes like sex house. Actually, it did not seem like sex was the motivator of the night at all for anyone.
Well,
No,
something
no,
happened
it's,
for sure, and I need you to tell me right now.
Well, you know, and Austin was there, so I don't know. Did you at any point go into the bathroom with anyone? Because that did happen at one point.
No, not this time.
Not this
D-tron?
time.
I went into the bathroom with someone, but I held his fur coat. My buddy, I took off his fur coat and held it while he barfed.
Nice of you.
That's sweet.
Did you be like, hey?
I felt bad
there's no
because I
free
made him
lunch in
some.
this
I
world.
made him some popcorn because I was like, I was like, and then the popcorn ended up being like really burnt, and I was like, fuck.
Oh, really?
It wasn't
smelled
that
like
bad.
good popcorn. I didn't know
It
it was
wasn't
burnt.
that burnt, but it could have been less burnt, and I would have felt like I did. I was like trying to do a
good
good.
deed.
I would have been like, I'm doing a good deed right now, but
Who got some pussy? Did Mudflap get laid?
bro, I don't think so. No, I
Dude,
don't
I have the
Danny.
the one thing you can say to get him laid is you have to tell people or women that his entire family died in a fire. That was
And then he didn't kill them.
Did they
and he didn't
actually?
kill him. I got him a
which is
kiss
the
one
truth.
time in a video by saying that. No, they didn't really die, but
Oh, okay.
sure, Holly. You know, but
Yeah, Holly.
Why you want to kill
I'm
them?
gonna
You want to
fuck
kill
him.
his family?
See,
Austin, it sounded like you had some gossip for us. What do you have?
Yeah, at this party. So on the Leo and Friends show, Leo brought his friend Eddie over, and he brought this was an AK-47 shaped bottle of alcohol, and it looks like a full-sized AK-47. You can hardly
really
tell it's not a
does, yeah.
gun.
Okay.
And I brought it to Brooks's party and started
I'm like,
walking
this is a
around with it.
$300 bottle of alcohol. Austin, where did you get this, and how are you paying rent this month? Like,
this kid, you know, he's a softball buddy. Came on Leo and Friends, and he brought that thing as a gift to the house. Dude, nice guy. But it does look like it's a Russian gun though, so it's vodka. And it's a Russian. It looks like it's something that Vladimir Putin's soldiers right now are using to massacre Ukrainians.
Yeah.
And I gave it to Mudflap, and Mudflap pulls it out, and then a bunch of people were like, "Whoa, put that thing away! What the fuck?" And thought he was just pulling out a real AK-47.
well, the
at
American
party.
shirt with the half taken off, you know, over his standard with a gun. I mean, you
See, we had to take footage out of a video once. I don't blame anybody who got scared because Mudflap was violating basic gun safety law number 1 by taking his unloaded guns that he was driving around, probably unlawfully, and he was putting them into his mouth and dry firing them on camera. Taking a real revolver and going click, click, click.
Was it the Eagle?
Desert Eagle?
Yeah, was it the Desert Eagle?
It was a revolver, so I don't think
Okay,
so.
okay.
I'm sure he would have done it with a Desert Eagle too.
Okay.
But that's the number one thing you learn at scout camp is to treat every gun as if it's loaded. Mudflap doesn't do that. So I would have run too. I would have left the party if he pulled out what looked like a assault
Dr. Octopus did the same thing. We went to go visit Chad Keel, and we took some guns out, and he thought he was taking some photos, thought he was being really funny. Obviously, Chad like shows him unloaded nothing in the chamber, and then the first thing he does is like point the gun at all of us, like we're trying to take a picture. I'm like, bro, are you kidding me right now?
That's why it pays to grow up out. Well,
That's why I didn't feel bad bringing in the neighbors into the house.
Yeah.
yeah.
Honestly,
Never
I
last
would
thing
say always bring, even like I would say bring anyone into that house. It was just the cigarette right next
That's
to the
very
insanely
weird,
flammable
yeah.
thing that I was like, bruh, like that could have been bad.
Yeah, bring anybody into the house. There will always be somebody who will fuck them. I think that's
Yeah, they almost had sex with everyone in the house. I guess now that I think about it.
Yeah, but she was like, I don't remember because I mean, let's just say hypothetically that certain like it, you know.
You run a lot of ketamine.
Well, no, I don't even. It was the mud juice.
You suck
really.
old sailors' dicks off Grinder, dude. You probably do ketamine.
Not
Yeah, you
sailor,
have
but,
to.
like old jazz musician.
Okay, old black jazz music.
Okay, it's a little
That's
bit
a
different.
step up.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah. I just don't. I don't
Sailors.
want any wrong ideas to get out there. But I've been in therapy. I've been like being more sober. So like for me, this party was like, okay, I'm going to get a lot of good reference photos for paintings, and I'm going to let myself have a good time. I'm not like in a sober kind. I'm like, but now I'm going to drink. I'm going to do throughout the night. I'm drinking more, and then things start glitching up towards the end for whatever reason. And it's 4:05, 4:20, like around that time. And apparently I'm sitting down the ground and this girl is like rubbing me apparently. And I don't have no memory of this whatsoever. The neighbor, yeah. And
Cute girl, Harley? Can somebody give me an answer on this?
If hypothetically, if I was there at this time, I would have let me do the bit.
And
so I'm on ketamine, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
It's like an interesting experience because it's like sex might be the motivator throughout the day, every day with like 90% of my decisions. But once that thing is in the mix, it's no longer there. Nice. So when I brought those girls in, my thought as I was walking over and I was like, oh, I have a cigarette, and I'm like muscle memory. And in my head, I'm like, what, I fuck these girls? And as I'm walking up, I like gave them the cigarette and I barely saw people. And I was like, I would never fuck these people. I didn't even think about it. And then I was focused on their dog. I was bringing their dog treats.
I would fuck this dog.
Yeah. I put my finger in it.
Hell yeah.
I don't remember. I don't really have no memory what they look like at all. Cause everything, I mean, I don't need, that was
one
my
was
first
black.
time there. And
one was like thicker and white.
Well, all I remember, what I do know is that
they fucked
Italia
each
was
other. I'm certain. I got the vibes.
Italia was like completely sober, and around this time it was getting super late.
Nightmare experience for her.
She comes out and she, like apparently this girl's like rubbing me. I have no memory of this, and she's like, "What's happening here?" Like I don't know exactly. Like I have no memory of this moment, but apparently the girl was like rubbing me or something. Saying
he was vibing like if you had a newborn puppy and you like slapped it on the head and shook it up a bunch. He was kind of like bouncing around the room. His eyes were huge, and he was
hypothetically, I've never really done this drug before, so I was like, what am I didn't know what I was feeling.
Oh, you never done that before? It's the weirdest thing.
A little bit, maybe
hypothetically,
but tonight I think, and Mudflap makes this party juice. I don't know if you've had any. He calls it mud juice, and the main ingredient in this is
ketamine.
No, 3 gigantic handles of vodka, the entire 3, and then a bunch of like. Yeah, so that's a some bitch of a drink, and that really gets the party started. So I am very thankful. Shout outs to Mudflap for the mud juice and donating that to the party. But it kind of inhibitions slowly by the end of the night. They're just like,
I could see Mudflap getting really drunk and getting really handsy with Danny Duncan.
He was standing next to him.
When did he
for a while,
leave? I didn't see him there.
He what? Oh, I don't know exactly. I just remember.
I thought that I'd never met you guys. I'd never met him. And just people that have been like in this space for an extended period of time and have been somewhat adjacent maybe to people I know.
He was in the back lot. Jacob Couch came and was with his friend. He was like trying to jump off my roof. I guess, I don't know, for whatever reason.
With Saltine?
Chase.
Okay.
And I mean,
but I want to hear about Mudflap and Danny Duncan.
I was bouncing around everywhere, just making sure, like hosting the party. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
It doesn't sound like
Danny showed up like later in the party when me and Couch and everybody were playing video games, and then he just kind of sat down with us on the couch for a little while, and then he walked around the party. He wasn't there for like that long because he showed up kind of late, but he's cool. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He did a lot of ketamine.
What? It's very off brand for him. I thought he was a sober guy.
No, it was crazy. He said he was gonna switch it up because it was Brooks' birthday.
He did not.
And then he sucked off them on the couch.
He sucked off them on the couch. He was what he did say was, 30 years down the drain. Let's go.
Yeah.
He said anti-trans stuff.
Wow.
Oh.
It'd be funny. It'd be funny if Danny Duncan did do ketamine and some sort of psychedelic.
Nah,
his merch brand is pretty lowbrow.
He did.
What if he started putting out shirts that said like "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder"? And then at the bottom they said "JK, I'll fuck your mom's tits." Like, that'd be fucking nice, dude.
Why is ketamine so popular with college girls?
I don't know. I know it was like a European
and gay people
thing.
And gay people and gays. Why?
I
When
did
I
a
lived
lot
in
in
New
high
York-
school.
You did?
Yeah.
What are the effects?
Basically, I mean, I think
mental breakthroughs.
Yeah.
Cures of depression.
You feel really sexy.
Really?
Yeah, and then
That's
you mix
not
that
much.
with jungle juice and it opens your asshole. A lot of
Oh,
people
wow.
do that.
Wow.
I have different experiences. She had me in the first half. The second
Not
half.
that
Second half,
one.
not so much. Okay.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
asshole.
Stay
I don't even
closed.
shit right.
I felt like I literally like clipped out of reality in like kind of not a great way, but also I was like, I told myself, because I've done a lot of like drugs throughout the
He
past.
didn't.
and
He
so-
clipped out of it in maybe in a bad way because
Yeah.
his wife was sober and she was like, "Why would you do this at like 3 a.m.? What are you doing now?"
It was a
type
little bit
thing.
later than
So I
3,
think it was the vibe
yeah.
of like that.
And she
that
was being super chill about everything.
she was being
but then-
extraordinarily chill for a 100% sober person.
Yeah. She kind of had made
She
sure
was
things-
within her right to hit him if she wanted.
Sure.
And it would have been okay.
and
I
it
would
did
have
get
backed
a little
her.
bit of like physical abuse there towards the end, but in like a sexual way. So
Did you get some fucking pussy that night?
Oh yeah. So essentially, I don't want to hypothetically go. We got
Microphone.
ordered some Uber Eats.
Yeah.
I don't even remember where from, but it just did not show up, and so I was
It
pissed
did, I
off.
bet.
Or
pissed
you
off.
didn't actually order it.
No, we
That's
did
true,
because
too.
we got the $39 Uber cash, and I'm like, fuck, it's so late. I'm hungry as hell. I don't know what I had to order.
That's
Jack
what the
in
Uber
Box.
driver thought.
I
when
had
he
a
to
rage
order.
boner. I had a rage boner, and something had to happen about it. So it was like in between the Uber cash and the Jack in the Box. Something happened. I don't know. I was still glitching at the time, but
Would you have sucked off Danny Duncan that night if he had just
those
asked you
days
to?
are those days
Your
are
bye
and
days are over?
Would you double team
He's a
him?
Christian now.
Would you
Leo.
double team him with? Would you double team Atalia with Danny Duncan?
I mean,
There was my question.
I mean, yeah, if she's down, I mean, I do that with like anyone with her consent just for fun. That's like I think is
You wouldn't do
slightly
it with me or
attractive.
Leo. You said.
I wish I gave her the ketamine instead
the
of
thing
him.
is,
Not
yes.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I've only I think maybe twice in my life have I even like been in the same place as him, so I don't know him that well. It's when I'm close.
Yeah,
friends
but you
with
sucked
somebody.
off that jazz musician, and I think
yes,
it's
you
That's
did.
the first night that I met him. So
Brooks, I think the ketamine is still working on you. You're very reluctant to use the mic. What's up? What's
I'm
up?
sorry.
What's up, Ash?
Hi, how are
Hang
you?
out. You guys will be in the second half.
Who
here.
was anybody high enough to have fucked Ashley that night?
yes.
Yeah, I mean, I would say yeah.